Long ago, our world was young. 5 kingdoms rose from the dust. First came the kingdom of fire. They were strong and fierce, like a volcano. Next, the kingdom of water emerged. They were calm and thoughtful, like the deep ocean. Then, the kingdom of air appeared. They were free and swift, like the wind. After them, the kingdom of earth arrived. They were patient and steady, like the mountains. Finally, the kingdom of light shone through. They were wise and radiant, like the sun. For centuries, the 5 kingdoms lived in peace. They traded goods and shared stories. Each kingdom needed the others. The Fire Kingdom used Earth's metals to build. The Water Kingdom relied on air's winds for rain. The Air Kingdom needed light's warmth to fly higher. The Earth Kingdom used water's flow for crops, and the Light Kingdom guided them all. They celebrated their differences. They knew their strength was in unity. The world was a colorful place, full of laughter and joy. But one day, the peace was broken. Whispers traveled on the wind. Strange creatures cloaked in shadow were spotted in the outskirts. They brought darkness and fear. The Air Kingdom, first to hear the whispers, felt a chill in their hearts. The winds carried stories of crops failing, rivers drying, and fires dying. The news reached the other kingdoms. Fear spread like wildfire. The kingdoms, once united, began to worry. What was this new threat? Could they face it together?
We must fight fire with fire. We will crush this darkness.
Patience, my friend. We must learn more before we act.
My scouts will fly ahead and gather information.
We will stand strong and defend our lands.
Together we will find a way. Hope will guide us. Section 5. The earth shakes. The water churns. The Air Kingdom's scouts returned with grim news. They adventured far and wide, traversing treacherous terrains and braving the unknown. Their faces, usually filled with the lightness of the skies, were now shadowed with worry. They spoke of ominous signs, of dark clouds gathering on the horizon, and of a foreboding presence that seemed to follow them wherever they went. The shadowy creatures were multiplying. These beings, born from the darkest corners of the world, seemed to thrive in the chaos. They moved silently, their forms barely visible in the dim light, but their impact was undeniable. Villages that once bustled with life were now eerily quiet, their inhabitants hiding in fear. They fed on fear and doubt, growing stronger with each passing moment. The more the people feared, the more powerful these creatures became. It was a vicious cycle, one that seemed impossible to break. The air was thick with tension, and the once vibrant lands were now shrouded in a palpable sense of dread. The Earth Kingdom felt the first tremors of fear. The ground, which had always been their foundation, now seemed unstable. Buildings shook, and the very earth beneath their feet seemed to groan in pain. It was as if the land itself was reacting to the growing unease. Their once fertile lands began to wither. Crops that had always thrived now lay dry and brittle. The farmers, who had always taken pride in their bountiful harvests, now looked upon their fields with despair. The lifeblood of their kingdom was slowly draining away. The Water Kingdom saw their rivers run dry, their oceans churn restlessly. The waters, which had always been a source of life and sustenance, now seemed to be in turmoil. Fishermen returned with empty nets, and the once clear waters were now murky and uninviting. Fear threatened to divide them. Communities that had always stood together now found themselves at odds. Arguments broke out over the smallest of issues, and trust, once a cornerstone of their society, was now in short supply. The bonds that held them together were fraying. The Fire Kingdom, consumed by anger, wanted to attack. Their fiery nature, always a source of strength, now seemed to be their greatest weakness. They believed that the only way to combat the growing darkness was through sheer force. Their warriors, always ready for battle, now seemed more eager than ever to unleash their fury. The Water Kingdom, lost in worry, couldn't decide on a course of action. Their leaders, usually so decisive, now found themselves paralyzed by fear. Every decision seemed fraught with potential disaster, and the weight of their responsibility was almost too much to bear. The Air Kingdom, their wings clipped by fear, struggled to stay hopeful. Their once boundless optimism was now overshadowed by the growing darkness. They looked to the skies, hoping for a sign, but found only storm clouds gathering. The Earth Kingdom, their roots shaken, felt despair creeping in. The very foundation of their society seemed to be crumbling. The people, who had always been so resilient, now found themselves questioning their future. The Light Kingdom, their radiance dimming, feared the encroaching darkness. Their once bright and shining lands were now cast in shadow. The light, which had always been their guiding force, now seemed to be fading. The future looked uncertain, and the path ahead was shrouded in darkness. Section 6. Fire in their hearts. The Light Queen, sensing their despair, called upon the ancient spirits of the elements. She reminded them of their shared past, their victories, and their unity. She spoke of the fire that burned not with destruction, but with courage and passion. She spoke of the water that flowed not with fear, but with adaptability and resilience. Her words sparked a flicker of hope in their hearts. The Fire King, his anger tempered by courage, vowed to protect the weak. The Water Queen, her fear replaced by resolve, promised to heal the land. Section 7. Light in the darkness. The Air King, his wings regaining strength, swore to be their eyes and ears. The Earth King, his roots digging deeper, promised to be their shield and fortress. The Light Queen smiled. Their unity was their strength. They had faced darkness before, and they would do so again. Together, they would find a way. They devised a plan, each kingdom playing to their strengths. The Fire Kingdom, fueled by courage, would push back the shadows with their flames. The Water Kingdom, adaptable and resourceful, would heal the land and nourish life. Section 8. United we stand. The Air Kingdom, swift and vigilant, would scout ahead and warn of danger. Their scouts, with eyes like hawks, soared through the skies, ever watchful. They could spot an enemy from miles away, giving their allies precious time to prepare. The winds were their allies, whispering secrets of approaching threats. The Air Kingdom's role was crucial, for without their vigilance, the other kingdoms would be caught off guard. The Earth Kingdom, steadfast and unyielding, would provide shelter and protection. Their stone walls were impenetrable, and their shelters, carved into the mountains, offered refuge to those in need. The Earth Kingdom's warriors were as solid as the ground they stood on, unwavering in their duty. They were the backbone of the alliance, providing a safe haven amidst the chaos of battle. Their strength was a source of comfort and stability for all, and the Light Kingdom, radiating hope and wisdom, would guide them all. Their leader, wise and just, inspired the troops with speeches that ignited their spirits. In the heat of battle, the Light Kingdom's warriors shone like beacons, their presence a reminder of the hope they fought for. The battle was fierce, but the light they carried within them never dimmed. They were the guiding star, leading the way through the darkest of times. The shadowy creatures fought with the strength of their fear and doubt. These dark forces, born from the deepest fears of the kingdoms, were relentless. They thrived in the shadows, their power growing with every moment of hesitation and despair. But the united front of the five kingdoms was a formidable barrier against this darkness. The creatures' attacks were fierce, but they could not break the spirit of the alliance. But the five kingdoms, united, were stronger. Their unity was their greatest strength, a bond forged in the fires of adversity. Each kingdom brought its unique strengths to the alliance, creating a force that was greater than the sum of its parts. They stood shoulder to shoulder, their differences set aside for the common good. Together they were an unbreakable force, ready to face any challenge. They fought with courage, resilience, and hope. Every warrior, from the youngest recruit to the most seasoned veteran, knew the stakes. They fought not just for their kingdoms, but for the future of their world. Their courage was a beacon in the darkness, their resilience a testament to their unyielding spirit. Hope was their shield, protecting them from the despair that sought to consume them. The Fire Kingdom's flames pushed back the darkness. Their warriors, wielding the power of fire, were a sight to behold. The flames they commanded were not just weapons, but symbols of their indomitable spirit. They burned away the shadows, illuminating the path forward. The Fire Kingdom's role was vital, their flames a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. The Water Kingdom's rains nourished the parched land, Their warriors, masters of water, brought life to the battlefield. The rains they summoned quenched the thirst of the land, revitalizing it. The Water Kingdom's presence was a reminder that even in the midst of battle, life could flourish. Their role was to heal and sustain, ensuring that the land they fought for would endure. The Air Kingdom's winds carried away the shadows. Their warriors, with the power of the wind at their command, swept away the darkness. The winds they summoned were a cleansing force, clearing the battlefield of the shadows that sought to consume it. The Air Kingdom's role was to bring clarity and vision, ensuring that the path forward was always visible. The Earth Kingdom's mountains stood firm against the onslaught. Their warriors, as unyielding as the mountains they called home, were a bulwark against the enemy. The mountains they commanded were not just barriers, but symbols of their enduring strength. The Earth Kingdom's role was to stand firm, providing a foundation upon which the Alliance could build its victory. Section 9. A New Dawn. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, it painted the sky with hues of gold and pink, signaling the start of a new era. The kingdoms, once shrouded in darkness, now basked in the warm embrace of the morning sun. And the Light Kingdom, shining brightly, stood as a beacon of hope and resilience. Its towers gleamed, reflecting the promise of a brighter future. Banish the shadows with their radiance. The light pierced through every corner, dispelling the remnants of fear and despair that had once gripped the land. Finally, the last of the shadowy creatures was vanquished. The heroes, with unwavering determination, had driven out the darkness, ensuring it would never return. The darkness receded, and a new dawn broke over the 5 kingdoms. Each realm, unique in its beauty, now shared the same light, symbolizing their newfound unity. The kingdoms had learned a valuable lesson. Through their trials, they discovered that their true strength lay not in their individual might, but in their collective spirit. Their strength lay not in their differences, but in their unity. By coming together, they had forged bonds that were stronger than any darkness. They had faced their fears and emerged stronger, their bonds unbreakable. The heroes celebrated their victory, knowing that their unity had been the key to their success. The 5 kingdoms continued to live in peace, their lands flourishing under the gentle light of the sun. Harmony and prosperity reigned, a testament to their enduring unity. Their unity a beacon of hope for all. The light that shone upon them served as a reminder that together they could overcome any challenge. They knew that as long as they stood together, no force could break their spirit. Their eyes were set on the horizon, ready to face whatever came next. No darkness could ever truly conquer them. The light within their hearts burned brightly, a flame that no shadow could extinguish. For in unity, there is strength. Their joined hands symbolized the unbreakable bond they shared, a bond that would see them through any adversity. And in hope, there is always light. As the sun continued to rise, it heralded new beginnings and endless possibilities for the United Kingdoms.